let's check out if Anderson Cooper might be going through a similar crack up. And now, Jeff Lord is a guy who actually, and this is another thing I think that you always need to think about when you think about politics or any kind of media stuff. I'm not saying that he isn't genuinely committed to white nationalist politics and electing a deranged reality star to the presidency. But I also would say that I had no idea who Jeff Lord was before he came out for softcore white nationalism and electing a deranged former reality star to the presidency. He was apparently a political director for Ronald Reagan, who also certainly enjoyed flirting with and promoting softcore white nationalism himself, as well as pretty much directly not having a problem with apartheid. So again, all of these politics do come from somewhere. And Jeff Lord has created a perch for himself on CNN, where he mostly, in a very sort of like grumpy and aggravated, and I have to say, frankly, pretty low T and low energy way, defends basically anything Donald Trump says. So if Donald Trump came out and was just like, look, Goebbels, they say this, I say that. What do I know? He would say like, oh, that was ridiculous. And the Democrats supported Goebbels since 1915. And then Van Jones would be like, Goebbels wasn't even around in 1915. He'd be like, stop interrupting me. So he basically plays that role. And now he is here with Anderson Cooper. And I believe that in the right corner is she doesn't talk. Well, I believe that is Navarro. She's a Hispanic political strategist for Republicans who's probably losing a lot of contracts as Republicans are like, wait a second, I can win a primary without pretending to respect Hispanic people? That's awesome. Anderson Cooper wants to know Jeff Lord's take on Donald Trump's urging of his Twitter followers to check out Ms. Machado's quote-unquote sex tape, which of course doesn't exist. And Jeff Lord actually seems like he's enjoying himself more than I've ever seen him enjoy himself on television. And Anderson Cooper almost has like the face of the old Native American in the pollution ad. He's just shocked. Tears about to come down his cheek. Let's take a look.
Number of tweets talking about Lenny Machado referencing a sex tape, but there's no definitive evidence that exists. Is that presidential? Is that the behavior of somebody who should be president for 50 days or 70 days from now, however long it is?
Anderson, let me answer it this way. I know you want.
Is it presidential?
Pause it.
Well, what does
classic Lord? That's all he always starts with a well. Let me answer it this way, and then he does his pivot. All right, let's go.
Presidential mean? I mean,
well,
I know
worthy of the office of president. That's what it means. Worthy of somebody who would occupy the White House.
Anderson, I want the same test applied to him that was applied to every other president. And lots of those presidents were thought of in the day as not being, quote, unquote, presidential. Andrew Jackson, right off the top of my head. Ronald Reagan, he was an actor. That was a dumb thing to be doing, is nominating an actor. On and on the list goes. You don't put a peanut farmer in the Oval Office. I mean, Anderson,
listen, I'm a student of history, too. I love history, and it's important to see things in context. But you didn't answer the question, is this presidential behavior? Would you want the President of the United States to be up at 4 a.m. encouraging people to go look for a sex tape?
Yeah, if it's worth looking for, Anderson. Look, Anderson, seriously. I
don't even know what that means.
I want to make this as a serious point.
It is a serious point. Would you want the President of the United States up at 4 a.m. telling people, Americans, to go, kids, whoever's on his Twitter feed? Okay, yes.
Let me answer. What I'm trying to communicate to you is that there are a lot of Americans out there who think that all of this presidential stuff and all of these kind of conventions that we have are horse hockey.
One part of me would love to create a montage of great presidential impressions of like, by the way, check out her sex tape if you don't believe me. You're like, yeah, check out her sex tape. It's like, and by the way, everybody thinks she's so good, but she hasn't been vetted. Check out her sex tape.
That one sounds plausible.
Yeah, that does sound plausible. At least, though, at Clinton, it would get funneled through a consultant. And Rick like, everyone says she's such an angel, but check out her sex tape. I'm afraid that my opponents on the other side didn't vet her, because there's a tape of her with a gentleman caller, and it was videotaped. And Andrew Jackson, I mean, you're lucky the guy didn't tweet out snuff films. Fair enough. He was a genocidal monster.
Hey folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.